38 is a number that is deeply meaningful to me. It is literally a life-changing, change-sustaining number that drives me every day. The woman whose heart that now beats inside my chest was 37 years old when she died, and on the 1-year anniversary of the transplant that saved my life, she would have been 38. Leading up to that anniversary, I wanted to do something really meaningful and specific to honor her and her family. So for 38 days, I chose to exercise for 38 minutes, always with my donor Angie as my why. Since that devotion, I can no longer work out for less than 38 minutes. I can look at my watch, see that it's only been 35, and I dutifully and gratefully press on until that timer hits 38. Working out for at least 38 minutes is core to my being. I do it in honor of Angie every time. Today, I'm going to ask you to channel the care, energy, and attention you freely give other people and use it to fuel the changes you want to see in yourself. My experience honoring my donor has become a sustainable and powerful way for me to create lasting changes. When you shift your focus to honoring someone else, it's harder to dishonor the commitment you've made to yourself. When was the last time you were determined to make a lifestyle change, having the best of intentions, dropping 20 pounds, getting 8 hours of sleep at night, growing your bank account, staying in touch with someone who matters to you, or committing to a personal practice, only to let yourself down, even when you came at it with the greatest of desires? We all want to be our best selves and to enjoy a healthy, prosperous, and fulfilling life. Using the habits that create physical, emotional, financial, and spiritual well-being, it's where the rubber meets the road. But as we all know, locking in new habits is hard. Sometimes it's easier to do the right thing for or because of someone else. I've found that when it comes to our wellness, it's when we honor the people we love that those habits not only become sustainable, but they can become life-changing. I wish I could count how many times I've heard friends, family members, coworkers, and random people I strike up the conversation with at the airport or the gym say something like, this is the 3rd time this year I've recommitted to working out. One of these days it's gonna stick. I keep trying to lose that 10 pounds. I just can't get over the hump. Yeah, I tried to meditate. I actually really like it. I don't have time to sit and do nothing. I'm too busy. Or how about the person who says they want to cut out their DoorDash habit and start making their own healthier lunches? This one hits 2 dimensions of wellness: financial, saving money, and physical, eating better. Some people will forever just talk about wanting to make a change and never actually take the plunge. Others will give it a go, thinking they can create a long-term habit, only to let themselves down, slipping back to what they've always done, what's familiar. 2 issues with this. 1, no one likes to feel bad about themselves. But 2, it really is easier to disappoint ourselves. The accountability is low. So let's flip the script. Since my heart transplant in 2021 and my life-altering 1-year anniversary epiphany, I've been helping Fortune 500 companies, wellness retreat goers, civic organizations, and people in my everyday life make lasting changes. The great news about my method is that you don't even have to be a heart transplant recipient to get the same commitment to change that I did. So my first experiment was Jen. She told me how she wanted to enjoy some more quiet time. She wanted to be able to go into her office, shut the door, and be in a reflective state. And she needed her family to know that that time was really important to her. I knew Jen's brother had died several years earlier, and I asked her how old he was when I didn't even finish my sentence when she said, "That's it." He was 40. For 40 days, I'm going to spend 40 minutes in my office meditating in honor of my brother, Steve. We had lunch a year after Jen's commitment. She was still honoring her brother with 40 minutes of meditation and journaling. It became a solid habit that she does for herself, always with her brother, Steve, at the core of her commitment. Allison had been working really hard to commit to regular exercise, healthy eating. She was feeling really good about her progress and her dedication. She wanted to add a daily walk to the mix. She needed to get out of the house, get away from her desk, get some fresh air. It just wasn't happening. Allison was at a really emotional point in her life. She was sending her youngest son off to kindergarten and her oldest son off to college. I asked her how old her oldest son, her college-bound son, Jackson, was. She said 19. So I suggested to Allison for 19 days, she get out and walk for 19 minutes in honor of the great work she did as a mama, preparing her son for that next stage in life. That weekend, she got out and started walking for 19 minutes, and it became a habit. Her love for Jackson translated into a love for herself, her physical health, and her emotional well-being. Greg had started and stopped his habit of gratitude journaling several times. He wanted to make it a personal practice, but he just couldn't commit. So I asked him who he could channel to make this a habit, someone he loved, someone he could honor with his promise. He said, my kids, of course. Greg's kids' birth dates added together equal 32. So for 32 consecutive days, Greg wrote in his gratitude journal in honor of Alyssa and Marcus. It's now something he does daily. And he said to me, Kristy, it's amazing how easy it works when I put my kids at the center of it. So how about you? How might you change by the numbers? Let's take a look at several dimensions of wellness where habits can be formed, and maybe you'll get some ideas. I started this talk with physical wellness. It's healthy eating, exercise, getting enough sleep, preventing injury and illness. I honor Angie every time I work out. Who could you honor to improve your physical wellness? Emotional wellness is expressing feelings, adjusting to emotional challenges, and coping with stress. So how about this? In honor of your 71-year-old grandpa, for 71 days, you'll spend 71 seconds jotting down what you like about yourself. Social wellness encompasses relationships with friends, family, and the community to create a meaningful support system. So, for me, in honor of social wellness, so for the next 3 months, instead of doing all the texting you do, you'll pick up the phone and actually call your mother 3 times a week in honor of your 3 siblings. Spiritual wellness is about living a life of meaning and purpose and having a sense of balance and peace. For me, Angie's youngest son was Nicky. He was 16 when his mom died. I meditated for 16 days, for 16 minutes, and I now finally meditate every day. Financial wellness is about participating in activities that help you get to your future and current financial goals. So as you're trying to save money, in honor of your 25-year-old brother, for 25 days, you'll take a pause for 25 seconds every time you go to purchase something and ask yourself, is this essential or is it a splurge? Vocational wellness is about participating in activities that contribute to your livelihood. So in honor of your favorite aunt, for 60 days, you'll spend 60 minutes a week, that's just 8.5 minutes a day, specifically focusing on growing your business through social media posts. And finally, intellectual wellness. This amplifies your creative abilities and expands your knowledge and skills. So for your 22-year-old daughter, for 22 days, you'll get onto Duolingo for 22 minutes and learn or relearn a language. I hope you've thought of some of your own ideas, and I want to give you just a moment to think of a habit you've wanted to incorporate in your own lives. Now, who could you channel to give that habit more meaning and purpose? And what number could you apply to that person to not only give yourself a kickstart, but to maybe get a habit that will last you a lifetime? What better time than now to try something different, something that finally works for you because of someone you care about? You can create new, lasting, healthy habits if you do them 38 minutes, $24, 19 walks, 16 meditations, 13 salads, or one meaningful personal devotion at a time.